One of the most common trauma responses I see is this. So we have an experience that was painful, and often it's usually the first time we have a certain type of experience, our system says, whoa, that was super scary and hurt really, really bad. I didn't even know that could happen, that thing right there. Like, what am I gonna do about this? I didn't even know that this existed. I didn't even know that could happen. It hurt really bad. I don't ever want that to happen again. How am I gonna stay safe from that ever happening to me again? Never again. I don't wanna go through that. That was so shocking and overwhelmingly painful and came out of nowhere. Okay. I don't know how to stay safe from the pain of this thing, except what if I at least carry the pain of it with me always? It's always with me. That way, at least I won't ever forget that this thing can actually happen. And maybe if I have it with me all the time, I just carry it in my energy field with me wherever I go, then hopefully I should always be remembering it. And then if I'm always remembering it, then if I draw near it anywhere in my life, or if I start to get into a space where that thing can happen, I should be able to see it and identify, oh, danger over there. I need to do something to keep myself safe. And if I have it with me at all times, that should make it really easy to notice when I'm in danger and take some kind of action to stop it from happening again. So that's the most common thing that I see, and I bet everybody's system has done it, at least subconsciously, which is usually where it happens. But the downside is it just makes everything in the system work worse, and it prolongs suffering. So if I get in a car accident, it's kind of happens quickly. So for the few seconds of, oh my goodness, I'm about to get in a car accident, boom, wow, startling, shocking, maybe pain. This is so surprising, so shocking. I'm feeling all these emotions. It's all happening so fast. And then say I get injured, my leg gets injured, so pain as well. Wow, all of this is happening. It's so much, it's so intense. And then as soon as it's done, wow, it's disorienting. Your system goes into shock depending on the intensity, and your system can just have a hard time grasping, okay, what's going on? Where am I? Am I still moving? Am I not moving? Am I okay? Is it going to happen again? Am I okay? Is anything broken? There's a lot can happen, especially from your nervous system getting jarred and all kinds of things. So that's a huge experience, and then the shock afterward and the pain and oh wow, yeah, my leg hurts really bad, lots of pain. That's such a huge experience with very, very, very large amounts of pain, shock, even just the impact of the whole body experiencing that impact. That's pretty intense. So ideally, we would like to not experience that, right? Of wow, this is so startling and shocking. I really and this hurts, ow, pain. Really like to not be feeling this pain. It would be great if I could quickly, be out of that and back to peace, back to calm, everything feeling good. But what happens when our system does that response of, I don't know how to protect myself from this scary thing I didn't even know about before. I don't know what to do besides just carry it with me forever. It prolongs it. It prolongs the suffering. Now, that's instead of it just being a period of time of real abrupt, intense, and then however long it takes for the leg to heal and the pain to subside all the way, instead of it being that long, if we carry it with us, then it's forever. It's all day, all night, every day, all the time, forever, if we never heal it. And that's the exact opposite of what our system wants. It says wow, that hurt. I'm not a fan of suffering, and I'm not a fan of pain. I would really like to not experience that again. But by carrying it, we're doing the exact opposite, and we're making it happen again and again and again in every moment ongoing, which sometimes we experience consciously of wow, I'm always in fight or flight, always feeling really tense, always feeling really scared, shoulders always up high, jump anytime, there's the slightest noise. So sometimes we feel it of like, wow, I don't know why, but I feel scared and braced all the time. And sometimes we don't really feel it. It's just in the background. It's just being carried in our subconscious mind. It's like low grade humming or like buzzing in the background of just, like there's just kind of this background, don't feel great feeling, and I don't know where it's coming from or why it's there. I don't know why I can't be happy. Don't know why. I guess that's who I am. I guess I'm just like a not a very happy person because I just always feel this way. I don't know why. So that's the most common thing. And you can imagine if it's something even more intense than a car accident, which depending on the situation, that could be very, very intense. But if you can imagine even more worse, more painful things and accumulated, if your body, like if a person's body said, wow, I've had many really, really intensely painful experiences, just like lots and lots and lots and lots of them, and if their body said, the only way I can think of to be safe is to carry them with me in my body all the time, like that's so much. That's so much, and that's so intense. And sometimes if we have an opportunity where we could heal some of it and just release it, if our system thinks, no, holding all of it will be the safest, it won't, even if we have the opportunity. Oh, bless our system. It's so committed to doing whatever it thinks is going to be the most helpful for us. Okay, so there it is. That's the most common trauma response I see in my clients in my practice. And it's often subconscious. I'd say it's usually subconscious. We don't even realize that our system believed that until we get in there into the subconscious mind and identify it and bring it to the surface. But luckily, this is one of my favorite things about life, is we don't have to. We don't have to, because so if we're carrying it, so it's really painful, and if we decide, in order to stay safe from that happening again, I'm going to carry it with me wherever I go all the time, day and night. It actually does the opposite. So if you've got this really intense trauma energy in your energy field, always there, it's going to really wig out your body, your nervous system. There's going to be this presence of like overwhelm. It's going to make it harder to focus, to think clearly. Heart rate will spike at an instant. Nervous system will go into fight or flight at an instant. You're going to feel more tired. You're going to feel more sad. You're going to feel more scared. Super extra scared whenever you're in a situation that could be dangerous. You're going to feel extra scared. So that will actually, if your goal was, I would like to not ever make this happen again, at least by my carelessness. I like to, whenever I'm driving, never forget to be careful. Like having your system super wigged out, it's like you're going to be more likely, right, to not have quick reaction times, not be in a state to handle things well, not be really focused. It can get to the point where you're, not very focused driving. So it actually, every single time I've seen this, when someone's system says, wow, I think I better just carry that all the time because I don't know how else to be safe from that happening again. It can be helpful short term, but long term it usually makes that exact same thing happen more by the presence of this really heavy, overwhelming, intense thing being felt in our system at all times. So instead, if we can release that intensity from the body, help that release and process out, then our system can be calmer, have more mental clarity, be more in tune with our intuition. I've heard of experiences, this hasn't happened to me yet, but friends that they were at a stoplight, their light turned green, and something inside of them said, don't go. And they were sat there like, why would, it's green light, like I can go. But they listened and they paused for a minute and like a truck with no brakes flew by, and it totally would have hit them if they had gone forward. So if we're in tune with our intuition, we can actually have the chance to hear intuitive warnings or impressions, which are not very easy to feel if your system's carrying really loud, intense, jarring energy around with you all the time. So also when we release something, so the pain of that experience, if we release that out of the body, the information and the data about the experience that happened doesn't get released, it stays in there. So the information and knowledge about, oh, yeah, I did experience a car accident. I did experience that if people are driving really fast on the freeway and then there's an urgent need to brake, there's likely to be a pileup if you don't have a big enough gap between you. Yeah, all the data and all the information from that experience is still there, but without the charge. So the knowledge, so then you already gained the knowledge. Like the information and the knowledge and the data from that experience is already in your system, and you can actually access it better if the charge is released out, because that's so loud it makes it hard to hear any of the wisdom that was acquired by the experience. So when we release that out, then we can just have a calm system, and we can actually hear the knowledge and the wisdom we acquired in the experience. And that's actually one way to know if you finished releasing the charge from something, is if you can think back on it and it's just objective. It's just information, and there's no charge left to it, there's no trigger left. Not the case if you're in a mode of just like numbing all of your emotions, of like, I looked back and I felt nothing, but also I can't feel joy or happiness. That's different. That needs to get unclogged and processed. But in general, if you can feel normal emotions and you look back at that moment and you can feel pretty fine about it, pretty okay about it, then that's your indicator that you probably finished clearing all of the charge. So, hooray! So we can be safer, and our system can work better, and we can avoid, be as best prepared for this type of situation again if we release the trauma energy, and then just look at it objectively of, is there any lesson I need to learn here? For example, my dog bit me when I was young, and that wasn't fun, and it hurt, and I didn't know about how to release the charge, so I just carried it. I didn't know, it was startling, didn't like it, didn't know why, and I just carried the charge for a long time, and whenever a big dog would bark, I'd jump, and whenever I was around a dog and it would growl, I'd start to tense up, because I was still carrying this experience around forever, all day and all night, wherever I went, always carrying this with me. But once I learned how to release it, now I can clearly see the wisdom of, oh, my dog was scared, it crawled under the bed, and just pulling it out wasn't the most helpful thing. I didn't realize he was scared, and when dogs are scared, they might bite to protect themselves because they're trying to hide. What would have been helpful is helping the dog not be scared. So now I can see the wisdom clearly after having released the charge, and also I can be around dogs without having such a big response. Okay, so there we go. Good news. We can release the charge. It doesn't discredit or discount the magnitude of the experience we went through. It doesn't make us lose our wisdom. Keeping the charge with us doesn't make our life better. It doesn't make us more equipped to thrive or to defend ourselves better in that situation in the future. So we can release it and learn from it, and and move into more empowerment.